Hey, what's up? Good morning, everybody. This is Bigfatjerk coming in from Pagle server. Where and today morning we're going to talk about Hydross, the unstable. Over here, you'll see that my guild breakfast club. I'm running my prot warrior Romorc, and we're on the classic PTR, and this is a kill attempt on Hydross. A couple things just to caveat here before we get into the poll. First, obviously we're in PTR, so we're on like literal BIS gear with multiple options for gearing. Might not always be the case on live servers, right? So just keep that in consideration. Second, I had DBM issues on the PTR with an update the night prior, so not running DBM. And finally, I wasn't even nature resist cap on this attempt. I was running 353 out of 365, even with all the buffs such as Gift of the Wild and Asterisks of the Wild. And the reason for that was on our last attempt, we were doing really well, but I got crit for 14k. So this attempt, I decided to make sure that I was 490 defense cap. With the best possible nature resist. That included that Flask of the Chromatic Wonder and the 8 resist food buff to get me up to 353 out of 365. So here's Hydross the Unstable. I'm currently going to be tanking the nature resist side. We got our Pagle doing the frost resist side. So you'll see the raid start out of here. Everyone's going to go to the frost resist side. Two tanks, Romorc and Acid Light are just going to clean up these ads over here. You know, some range DPS will help us focus it down. But for the most part, everybody's going to be on the boss starting off. Going into the boss fight over here, mechanics, right? Starting off on Hydross, you see this little purple flag over here. There's an invisible line that connects to the other flag. On the frost side, starting off, there's 0 ads every time the boss crosses that invisible line. There he changes from frost to nature resist, right? So you need two tanks, one wearing frost resist, one wearing nature resist. One of the abilities on the frost side, which you'll see coming up over here, is called Watery Tomb. It basically encapsulates everybody, encapsulates one person into a watery tomb. He does about 1,000. You'll see 1,200 over here damage per second for 5 seconds, and anyone within 8 yards of you also gets put into a watery tomb. He also does a stacking debuff, right? It's a raid-wide debuff. Every 30 seconds or so, every 10 seconds, the damage that he does increases but exponentially 10%, 25%, 50%, 100%. So that's why you have to move the boss from one side to the other side to reset that stack. Otherwise, you'll get to a point where you just deal so much damage and you can't tank the boss. So you see, we call stop DPS right before we move the boss over. I'm getting ready. I generated all my rage, pulled up my rage. When the boss comes over, you want to actually wait right until you see him turn green color. Once he turns from that blue frost to green nature, that's your indicator that okay, threat has wiped. This is time for the nature resist tank to start picking it up. What should be helping you out over here is that all the DPS should be on the ads, while the other two tanks, which is our frost resist tank, and then in this attempt we had another tank running frost and nature half and half to pick up ads. So all the DPS should be on the ads to kind of give you a couple seconds for threat here. The most important that I want to do with my gear was I wanted to make sure that I had high nature resist, I was 490 defense cap, and that I had as much hit as possible. Right, so that's the kind of priority over here. So now I'm up to 100% debuff, right, and you saw me hovering my mouse over because I didn't have DBM. I bring the boss over as much as possible to the other side so that he's not close to the line. And I start picking up these ads. I group them up on the prop alley. For the most part, I think we got 3 here. 1 or 2 gets loose. That's okay. You know, it's gonna get loose, right? The most important thing is just you make sure you pick up these ads before they actually kill somebody. But there's gonna be a little bit running around. Just manage the chaos. Um, so once again, now I have rage, right? I'm not really trying to. Last time I got caught by a watery tomb. I'm not trying to get caught by a watery tomb, and that's just 5,000 less healing for healers. So I stay out. You know, I see that the person, if you look to the screen on the right over here, that guy's got watery tomb. So I know melee is safe right now. I'm not gonna get watery tomb. So I'm in there just building rage. I do as much DPS as possible. Boss is getting low. So I'm getting ready now to probably run over to the nature side and pick up the boss. Make sure I just pull up some rage over here. But this is the fight right here, guys. You know, it's a pretty standard fight. Honestly, the thing that most skills suffer with, or most raid teams are going to suffer with, is stopping DPS and killing ads. You see that watery bolt just went out there. A couple people got caught by it. I pick up the boss as soon as it goes to nature, the frost resist, and the other prop Pagle is picking up the ads while they're killing it down. Just to help out because I know the boss is dying on this side. You see I pull it pretty far away from the line, so just in case anyone last second is pumping and they pull a thread off me, it doesn't go run back over to the frost side, because once it runs over to the frost side, it's going to spawn another 4 ads, so now you have 8 ads up, and that's a raid wipe as well. So I just rotate through my cooldowns over here with shield wall last stand to help out the healers and make sure that we just have this kill secured in the bag. But that's pretty much the Hydross fight, guys. You know, making sure that as a prot warrior anyway, making sure that you have your nature resist. You are defense cap. I mean, you know, it's a risk, right? It's a risk that you run, and making sure you have the hit to have the threat generation, because that's important. Do your best to pick up the ads as a prot warrior running around, and yeah, and then DPS not DPS actually stopping DPS on the boss, and not pulling threat up to tanks, because that's what's going to cause a wipe as well. Well, thanks a lot for watching the video, guys. I'll post combat logs in the channel downstairs as well. Thanks a lot.